Oh boy, here we go. Okay, I'm going to ask you guys to forgive me because I'm going to be a little on the social spectrum of topics today because I keep seeing this video coming up. I mean, I haven't even had time to watch the games lately, but this video about LeBron calling out the media on YouTube and in other news feeds, and I end up reading the comments from all these weak-minded people about how LeBron is a warrior for his people. Jesus Christ, come on. So LeBron supposedly calls out the media for not asking him about the Jerry Jones photo. And before any of you fly off the handle, I have nothing nice to say about Jerry Jones. Here are some other reasons maybe the media didn't ask him. Maybe because the article came out November 23rd and you're bringing it up a week later. You want the media to just ask you what happens to be on your mind at any random time after any random game. Another reason, it's not a basketball question. Jerry Jones, unlike Kyrie, isn't a former teammate of yours. Why would the reporters ask this tonight when they're asking you about the game? LeBron turned this into a black versus thing. In fact, he turned it into a journalists are racist thing. Journalists are now villains. And if you don't believe me, just read the comments underneath these videos about LeBron calling out the media. So because the media didn't ask LeBron exactly what he felt like talking about, now they are the bad guys. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't have anything nice to say about the media either, but this is just LeBron manipulating the situation again. LeBron just went on and on and on about it for so long and talking about how the smallest detail about anything the black community does is blown up in the media, while in this case, no one wants to talk about it. Really, LeBron? Because I see it all over the news. And by the way, who brought this photo out of the dungeons of the past and made it back into the news today? Was it you, LeBron? Was it you doing some late night personal investigative journalism for your people? Or were you pursuing yet another endorsement? Because guess who brought this out into the open? It was a white male journalist and a white female journalist working at the Washington Post. And you, what the fuck are you talking about that people are trying to sweep it under the rug? It was just brought out of the past by the very people, journalists, that you're trying to condemn. You didn't do it. You didn't expose this, you fucking fake hero. Let me be very clear. Jerry Jones looks evil. He looks like what you might think the actual white devil looks like if there were a physical manifestation to represent the white devil. And I sincerely doubt if he's a good guy. None of that matters. This is LeBron being fake, as usual. Because if you think about it, LeBron actually still hasn't commented on the issue. I mean, all he did was ask why he hadn't been asked about it. And immediately he gets placed on this pedestal of doing great things for his community and being brave to call out the media, who had no business asking him that question at that particular time anyway.
Hold on.
But more importantly, notice that he conveniently cut the reporter off when the reporter actually tried to oblige LeBron right after LeBron complained about not being asked about it. And the reporter tries to ask him, and LeBron's like, nope. And in fact, I don't want to hear your answer. After I make my little speech here, I don't want to talk anymore.
And I don't even want you guys to say nothing.
Well, that's convenient, isn't it? Because my guess is that you didn't really have anything to say. I would love to have heard James's response. It would have been weak. LeBron doesn't take a courageous stand for social issues. He pretends to. Does anyone here think LeBron James would have actually said anything particularly bold or condemning about Jerry Jones? Well, I guess that would depend on if Jerry was part of Clutch Sports or not. Because if we look at LeBron's past, that's where he draws the line with morals and ethics. And as far as being a hero for the community, whether we're talking black, white, Hispanic, Asian, any people who are suffering, this dude could house and feed thousands with the shit he's wearing at that press conference. Stop feeding your ego and feed some people instead. If you're such a hero. Look, he made the money, he gets to do with it as he wants. But don't squander your money on outfits and jewelry for press conferences that you probably won't even wear again other than at that press conference, and then pretend that you're a hero for communities. But now I'm going to turn this over to another guy on YouTube who actually did a really good job calling out LeBron James. 3 specific questions for LeBron James that call into question whether or not LeBron James is in fact this brave social hero.
Since LeBron wants to lecture the media and say, hey, why are you not asking me questions about non-basketball related stories? I've got 3 questions for LeBron James, which are very pertinent, which directly go to his ability and knowledge. And I'm very happy to ask them. So I took a picture of my questions, LeBron, and these are the questions that I would ask. And maybe, just possibly, I need to get into a Lakers press conference one day and actually ask all these questions because, frankly, most people in the media that cover the NBA are too big of pussy willows to actually ask the questions, right? So here are my questions for you, LeBron James. First of all, do you support basic human rights in China? Easy question. LeBron, do you support basic human rights in China? Because you've never given an answer on that question. You've always avoided condemning China for anything. You actually defended China when they held Daryl Morey way too accountable for his tweets seeking basic human rights in China. So, simple question for you, LeBron, since you want non-basketball questions. Do you support basic human rights in China? Second question. This directly involves you too. Do you believe Nike should make your shoes with slave labor effectively overseas, or should they pay a living wage in America? I've made this argument for a long time. If LeBron wanted to make a real difference in Akron, he would say to Nike, hey, I want all of my sneakers made in the United States of America. I want a living wage paid to all employees, and I want you to build a factory in Akron, Ohio, my hometown. Nike would have to do it. So if you're going to ask American moms and dads to pay $200 for LeBron James's sneakers, why doesn't LeBron say, pay a living wage, make my sneakers in Akron, Ohio, and employ underemployed Akron natives to make my shoes, pay a living wage to Americans instead of slave labor wages overseas? I'd love to hear LeBron's answer to that question. Third question that I would ask LeBron. LeBron, you and your team, that is the people who advise you, your staff, claimed someone wrote a racial slur on your $20 million plus Brentwood mansion. Okay, Brentwood, super high income area of Los Angeles. That house may be worth $50 million now. Okay, over $20 million LeBron paid for this mansion. You told us, LeBron, that someone scrawled a racial slur on your gate. When the Los Angeles Police Department showed up to investigate this, they found no evidence that a crime had actually occurred. And everyone in the media just dropped the story and pretended it didn't exist anymore.
This, by the way, is the exact opposite of what LeBron was complaining about in the press conference. This is, in fact, the media sweeping a negative thing that LeBron did, a person who happens to be representing a certain color and community, and they are helping him out by sweeping his bullshit under the rug.
Why have you not apologized or explained that story? The LA Police Department showed up at your house minutes after they were called and found no evidence of what you claim, that is a racial slur scrawled on your gate. Amazingly, the camera, security camera, that you have that looks directly at your gate, it wasn't working. And there was no footage of what might have happened at that gate. And also, your staff immediately repainted the gate without providing any evidence that it ever happened, which is why the Los Angeles police investigated this and determined that there was no evidence a crime had happened. Those are 3 questions for you, LeBron, since you want non-basketball questions and you want to weigh in on Jerry Jones-like stories. I look forward to hearing your response, LeBron, and keep your head on a swivel. At some point, your boy here may decide, since everybody in the NBA media is filled with woke losers who won't actually ask questions, keep your head on a swivel, LeBron. I'm going to show up at a Lakers game someday, and I'm going to be in the press availability, and I'm going to directly ask you all 3 of these questions. So study up, decide what your answers are, and get ready, because your boy, who ain't afraid of anybody, is not a member of the woke NBA media that's going to suck up to you. I'm going to come and actually ask non-basketball questions.
In a previous video, I mentioned how in the past, if someone was on top, the media did everything that they could to rip them down. And that today, they're doing everything they can to keep someone at the top. For example, Michael Jordan was turned into a villain for going to Atlantic City with his dad when they were in the playoffs against the Knicks. It was legal. It was Atlantic City. And he came back and he beat the crap out of the Knicks. This is the difference. It used to be that the media would try to tear someone down from the top. Can you imagine if Michael Jordan had made a false claim to the police trying to stir racial tensions